friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to worry Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with the bones, so let it be with Caesar. These are the opening lines of Mark Antony's speech in the play Julius Caesar, a speech considered to be an icon of rhetoric. The speech begins by Antony justifying the assassins of Caesar. It then progresses with implied sarcasm of calling them honorable, and at the end motivates the citizens of Rome to rebel. But what has this got to do with my speech today? Well, fellow Toastmasters, this speech was my first rendezvous with the world of public speaking. It happened at the age of 12 when I moved to a new school. Since I was a new child, I had very few friends until the day my teacher enrolled me for an inter-school elocution competition. This speech helped me not only win an award for my school, but also a whole bunch of friends for myself. It was then that I knew how the power of speech empowers you to change the world around you. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, we humans tend to be a proud lot. But have you ever thought, what is it that we have that makes us superior to the other animals that walk the planet? We certainly are not the fastest, that's the cheetah, or the strongest, the African elephant and the blue whale share those credits. And to add to this, scientists now suggest that humans may be lagging behind dolphins where intelligence is considered. Now that's not very good for human ego, I think. So what is it that makes us the leaders of the world? It is our ability to creatively communicate. Where other animals can just communicate as a survival mechanism, none but humans can express their emotions through words. It is a power gifted to us by the Creator, and like any other power, it can be used both as a positive and a negative force. Positive communication brings to mind words like appreciation, motivation, and guidance, whereas the negative track of communication makes us think of criticism, gossips, rumors. When I say positive communication, it does not mean saying only the nice things. Positive communication is a way more complex exercise. It is a process where you can put across your point without triggering resistance from the listener. And this is very important when we are talking to our children, no matter what age they are, or to our colleagues and subordinates. Because as a general tendency, they tend to disagree the moment you start telling them something. Now this reminds me of a recent incident at my house. My 4-year-old was always playing with toys and the room was in a mess, and I used to tell her, "You need to clear up the room, it's in a mess." But it never seemed to work. So I decided to change my way of speaking. And yesterday I said, "Anvi, would you like to clear up the room with me? We have some space to dance." And guess what? The tiniest bits were in the box in a few minutes, and she was beaming with pride. This exercise made me realize that to make a positive communication, you need to put in genuine effort. It is an exercise where you mentally assess the impact your words are going to have on the listener. Negative communication, however, is an outburst, which may be a result of an emotional turmoil. It is a message we transmit without thinking of the implications it might have on the listener. Here I would like to share a short story with you. A troubled man went to the priest and said, "I've been spreading rumors about my neighbor because I was jealous of his success. But now that he has left the town, I feel so guilty. What can I do to correct my mistake?" The priest told him to buy a bag of seeds and spread it in the field and come back 10 days later. 10 days later when he came, the priest said, "My child, go and gather all the seeds back." The man was shocked. He said, "How can I do that? The wind would have blown the seeds in all directions, and some of them may have already taken root." The priest smiled and said, "My child, you have learned your lesson. God has empowered you with the gift of communication. It is a privilege. Do not misuse it." Do you remember that as a kid we had learned a proverb, "Think before you speak"? It was now that I understood the true meaning of it. Being able to communicate is a great power. And as Spider-Man's Uncle Ben said, with great powers come great responsibility. Words once spoken can never be taken back, and the impact that they will have on the listener is going to stay with them for a lifetime. So fellow Toastmasters, if you decide to use this valuable power of yours, this privilege of yours, remember the words of Oliver Holmes, who says, "Speak clearly, if you speak at all. Carve